Texas Chainsaw, Dawn of the Dead, The Hills Have Eyes, Amityville Horror, Last House on the Left, Friday the 13th, A Nightmare on Elm Street, My Bloody Valentine, When a Stranger Calls, Prom Night, Black Christmas, House of Wax, The Fog, Piranha. It's one of those, right? Right?
Hello and welcome back to the Don't Press Play podcast. I am your host Alex, and it has been a while. I haven't sat down and recorded an episode in probably about 3 weeks now. And honestly, it's just because I took a holiday, I went away for a week, and then I was trying to get back into podcasting, and then I've been enrolled in film school, so I've been trying to sort out film school and kind of get my head back into going back into education and going back into university with the whole university thing as well. So I've done my first year of film school, but I did that about 4 or 5 years ago, and I dropped out after the first year. It was in like the middle of COVID and things, so I really wasn't having a good time with it. So it's taken a good kind of few years to kind of feel settled within myself to kind of want to go back and finish my degree. So I think that's, I don't know, I've had so much on my plate. So, but I'm trying to get back into films and horror because it's obviously going to help with my degree. So I just thought, let's go for it. And recently, especially this past week, I've had quite a lot of time off work, just because of uni and stuff. So I've been watching so much horror, like just so much, like 3 films a day, really locking in. And I've been watching so much found footage recently. It's been a little bit insane. It's kind of probably been like the one genre I've been really rinsing. And obviously, I love found footage. I love the Blair Witch Project, but I can't ever really say I'm like a found footage connoisseur because I hadn't seen any of these films. And I got a Shudder account, and then I just basically was just like, let's lock in. Let's just do what we need to do. And these are some of the films that I've seen recently. Let me know if you guys like any of these films. I can probably give them a little review. So recently, as of this month, I have watched. So Elephant in the Room was Creep 1 and 2. I put Creep 1 and 2 off for so long because I just thought they were going to be like really like awful films. And I was like, well, it just doesn't seem like anything I would enjoy. I was so wrong, and I'm never judging a film by its Netflix title ever again because I put Creep 1 on and was absolutely obsessed that I had to watch the second one as soon as it ended. And I'm even more obsessed with Creep 2. And from that point, I watched it every day for the next 3 days, 1 and 2. So I've now seen Creep 1 and 2 a disgusting amount of times. And it's worryingly my comfort movie now. So I don't know what that says about me as a person, but I absolutely loved Creep 1 and 2. Then I dabbled in the Hell House franchise. I watched the first and the second Hell House movie. The first one I really enjoyed. I think there were some really great moments in Hell House 1, especially with the mannequin clown. But then Hell House 2 really just let it down. So, not a fan. Then I dabbled in the VHS franchise, which again I hadn't seen before because I thought, ooh, gross, not fun. I fucking loved VHS. Oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. And then I watched VHS 94. So fucking good. Oh my god, it was amazing. I was like, I'm such a boring bitch. I've like never ever ever watched any of these films before. And now all of a sudden I'm like absolutely banging off all of them. Stunning. Then I tried to watch a film called The Tunnel, which was released in 2011, and that was not very good. So I was right about one thing. And that brings us to today's episode because yesterday I watched a film called The Poughkeepsie Tapes. Poughkeepsie. And oh my god, I think this may be the best found footage film, minus the Blair Witch, obviously. But I think if there was like a pyramid, it would be like Blair Witch and then it would be Poughkeepsie Tapes. Because it was so good. I honestly cannot believe how good this film was. And I thought I'd already seen this film before, so I didn't watch it. And the reason why I thought I'd seen it before is because I think it's called the Poughkeepsie Tapes. The one about the aliens. I'd seen that film before, and I thought they were the same film. And then it wasn't until I was looking on Shudder that I saw the Poughkeepsie Tapes, and I was like, serial killer? I don't remember that at all. So I put it on a whim, I locked in, and Jesus Christ. I'm gonna say this was probably, like, the most horrific film I've ever seen, like, genuinely. And I think what makes it so awful was, I think, just the fact that not a lot of plot happens in, like, the middle of the movie, and it becomes just, like, a whole bunch of nothing, but that's what makes it so interesting, and the found footage stuff is really leaned into, in the sense that you feel that type of voyeurism, and I don't know, you just feel like you're watching something that you shouldn't be watching, and therefore you can't turn away, and that's exactly how I felt watching this film. I I just think that with found footage as a medium, it's been so overdone and so overused, but this film's completely, like, in its own league. Obviously, the story is that these are the tapes of a active serial killer, and it's kind of montaged in with interviews from police and victims and experts in serial killers and things like that. And they're trying to tell a story of this White River Butcher, I believe it's called, and they're trying to tell his story and who he is, and it basically takes us down, like, through his victims, and we basically learn this guy's, like, really clever, and every time they profile him, he does something else, so they unprofile him, and then we see, obviously, mixed in with that is these tapes, and on these tapes is some of the most vilest thing, and we don't even see all the tapes. We see, like, a good few of them, and we learn about one of the victims on this tape. So he kidnaps a girl who is home alone. I think she's about 19. He kidnaps this girl, and she becomes his, like, main victim. And they're speaking to the victim of the mother, and she's saying, like, "Oh, well, everyone said, like, we're looking for a body now. Like, it's been years." I think it was like 10 years or something stupid, like, that she was missing for. And then whilst they're still searching for her, we obviously see the footage on the tapes of him torturing this poor girl. And he basically has her, like, tied, gagged, and bound, and has her, like, constantly saying stuff like, "Oh, you're my master, like, I'm just a slave," and all this kind of stuff. And then it gets to, like, such a point where, like, she has to wear, like, this horrible latex mask that has, like, a full head of hair and is essentially like a doll for him. It is so horrific, and it still gives me chills and goosebumps because it's just so fucked up. Like, underneath that is some, like, very, very much, like, abused and, like, a shell of a person at this point, and they're, like, a puppeteer of this, like, latex doll, and the fucking serial killer's wearing this horrific, like, plague doctor mask whilst he's torturing victims. And then, like, at one point, he makes her, like, stab a prostitute and everything. It's horrific, like, genuinely horrific, and I'm really struggling to tell the plot here because, like, this is just my initial reaction, and I'm still kind of like, "Wow, that was horrific. That was really fucking horrific." And then I think the worst part of the film is the ending, and that is that the serial killer pings a notification through to the police or something about a map being downloaded, and they manage to track exactly where the killer's house is. So all of the police force rush to the killer's house, but the killer has done it on purpose because he wants them to be found. So he cleans the entire house, scrubs it from top to bottom, and then leaves the victim still alive in a coffin, still in the latex mask and everything. And then they basically find this poor girl, take her to the hospital. She has to go through surgery and everything. And then they finally get to kind of have that interview with the victim. And when they get the interview, she's like, "I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know what you want me to say." Because she's so used to, like, being, like, abused and told what to say. And then when she finally kind of speaks her own mind in this interview, she's just saying that, like, the guy that tried to kill me, like, he loves me and he's gonna come back for me. He didn't mean to leave me. And it's so heartbreaking. It's so fucked up. And you genuinely like, who writes this shit? And it's so real. Like, it feels so real. Like, it takes some footage to another fucking level. It's so realistic. And then we come to learn after the interview, she takes her own life. And then, like, a few days later, that when she's buried, the grave is robbed and the body is taken, and it's obviously the killer that's taken the body. And then we kind of don't learn about anything else from that point, except that he's probably gone to another town. And like, then the film ends, and it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Chills. Fucking chills. And then it's like, well, what do you do with your life now? It is very much like, it gives me the same vibe as like the ending of Blair Witch, where it ends and it's like, there's nothing good about the world. Like, everything is horrible. Like, if you're feeling a bit sad, do not put this film on to like escape, because Jesus fucking Christ. And then I think another one of like the most horrific scenes is, well, there's two. One of them is when the Girl Scouts come over and he gives them a glass of Coke, and then starts like teasing them about a raccoon being in the basement, and like the whole time you're on edge being like, he's gonna kill these little girls, like he's going to kill these two little girls. And I don't think he does in the end, because I think they leave, but it's just that whole thing of like, nothing happens on some of these tapes and you're watching it, and he's like torturing his audience that way, because he's like, well, I could kill them on camera right now and you're gonna watch this entire segment and I'm not gonna do anything. It's so like, it's so serial killer core, honestly. It's so well written. And then I think the other worst low point of the film is he picks up a lady and she calls him officer and starts like joking around with him, and he's like, why did you call me officer? And she's like, well, because police like it. And he's literally like, I'm not a policeman, and you got into my fucking car. And he just like, your blood goes cold with hers. And then he just starts saying like the most vulgarist shit to her, like, oh, well, if you let me I'll let you go, I won't kill you. And then he's like, psych, I'm gonna do both. It's just horrific. And I think that obviously this film is a little bit controversial. With people I have spoken to about this film have said like, they don't watch it because they think it's like a bit too far, which I do understand. But then, you know, I do get that. I do get that argument. Personally, like I said, I think it is one of the best found footage films I've ever seen, mainly because I was so transported into that world that I really, like, for the rest of the night, I struggled to switch off, and I was like, I'm gonna have to do an episode about this because I need some therapy. And I was looking into kind of some of the facts and figures of this film, and strangely enough, this film was actually meant to be released in 2007, but then it wasn't released in 2007. And instead, it was released in 2014 on like a video on demand, but then it was still unavailable on home media, and then it was released in 2017 from Shark Monetary. Well, anyway, that is today's episode. It's a bit of a random one, but I just thought I'd like make an episode on the Poughkeepsie Tapes. That is my reaction to the Poughkeepsie Tapes, and honestly, yeah, it it got 5 stars from me on Letterboxd, to be honest, and yeah, it's up there. It's definitely up there with my favourite found footage movies. I think if I'm now gonna recommend, because now I feel like I've seen so much found footage media over the past week, if I'm gonna recommend found footage people to friends, it's gonna be The Blair Witch Project, Creep 1 and 2, it's gonna be the Poughkeepsie Tapes, and it's gonna be VHS. I think at the minute, they are my top 5 found footage movies. So, let me know what you think about that as well. Are they your top 5? What is your top 5? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider leaving me a review. Rate me on wherever you listen to your podcasts. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It would mean a lot to me. And also, if you've got something not nice to say, don't say it. The other day, some person commented on my YouTube video and was like, lame, not even a video. I was like, dude, it's a podcast. God forbid I don't film a video with it as well. I'm fully employed. I now go to film school. I've got a puppy to look after. You're lucky you're getting a podcast out of me, girl. Like, leave me alone. Anyway, that is all we have time for today. If you enjoyed this episode, like I said, please don't be afraid to reach out. Follow me at the Don't Press Play Pod on Instagram. And give me a DM, leave me a comment, let me know you're out there. See you guys in the next one. Bye.